Welcome to the Grand Theft World podcast, hosted and sponsored by GrandTheftWorld.com. This is episode 88. It's July 10th, 2022. And over the next 6 or 7 hours, we're going to unpack the past week's news. We're going to cover some points that have been censored and might not have made it to your desk quite yet. We're going to cover stories like over there in Europe, they got some farmers that are protesting. I think it's in the Netherlands. They made some new rules, carbon-based, this or that, too much nitrogen in the soil. Sorry, you got to shut down the cows. You got to shut down the farming. Farmers are protesting. I guess the government didn't understand that farmers on a regular basis have these big tankers full of manure, and they spray them on their fields to make things grow. That's how the politicians get their food in the cities. And they took, because their farms are being closed, they took those tankers and they went and demonstrated how they grow and fertilize things over near the politicians.
In the existing next-gen EU fund, there is still a lot of money, which is also partly funneled towards greening our economies, and that's exactly what we need to do to become less gas and oil dependent.
Where do you find still such a prime minister in the world? You find it in the Netherlands, and it's Mark Rutte.
If they're gonna do everything that they want, if they want to go to the goal, they're going to reduce 50% of the farmers here in Holland.
Sure.
And that's only the farming, but the truck drivers is going to come down, industry is coming come down, mechanics is going to come down, everything is going down.
At the same time, people are aware that the climate is changing, and that we need to step up our collective efforts to make sure that we counter that and that we mitigate it.
Seems pretty unanimous. The Netherlands, yellow vests 2.0. But what's the beef? At least the farmers are finding a use for all that unwanted feces by spraying it on government buildings.
They're spraying shit on people. That's the gist. There's also a new greatest hits album out by the artist known as Hunter Biden, and Washington Examiner has published beyond what you would ever want to see on a topic. There's also word that Hunter's iCloud account was hacked. That's the source of some of these images. So we're going to dig into that very gently, very briefly, because that's an incendiary topic right there. I know if the shoe was on the other foot, if that happened during the last administration, they'd have a noose out for the guy, that was in charge of all that stuff. But over there, nothing to see here. Hunter Biden's basically untouchable. Joe Biden's crime syndicate also untouchable. We'll get into that.
I want to say I'm sorry it's coming to this. For people who are watching, you might not want your kids to hear this stuff. This stuff's dark stuff. But this is the president's son, the Daily Mail reports. Naked Hunter Biden filmed himself smoking crack, drinking hard seltzer, and you can do it himself. You can say that.
You can read it yourself at home.
Yeah, while floating inside a sensory deprivation tank 1 month after convincing Dad Joe to wire him $20,000 for his detox program. The first family, the son of the president. These videos are coming out because the laptop got released, and the stuff we're learning about this family is dark. It's bad stuff. Mm-hmm. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And in my personal opinion, I think Joe Biden was abusive towards his kids, because you don't turn out like Hunter Biden unless you had bad parents doing something. Mm-hmm. Bad family. You take a look at how Hunter Biden turned out, and then you have to ask yourself about the leadership capabilities of Joe Biden, and then you look at the country and you start to put it together, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know what your thoughts are on all this stuff. More of this is going to keep coming out. I think it absolutely is indicative of who the Democrats are willing to elect, regardless of their moral character, and of the leadership capabilities of the man himself.
So I just weighed the bag. It's 2.06.
2.07 without the bag.
So how long is
2.0? That was Hunter Biden there, filming himself. The video was one of the few pieces of content that the image board website 4chan claims to have hacked from the president's son's iCloud account. A Twitter user under the name of NJ Gloper posted the video of Hunter. It sees him filming himself with a cigarette in his mouth. He then flips the camera to film the scales in front of him. As you'd expect, the video has been making the rounds since it was put up. Donald Trump Jr. reposted the video from Benny Johnson's Twitter page and wrote, "Imagine the things he decided may be a bit too much for film." Joe Biden from the archives in 1991 discussing his tough thoughts on crack users.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, $1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice.
Also, this upcoming week, we have John Bush's educational homeschooling seminar.
Yeah, but we got a summit coming up that we're super honored for you to be presenting at. It's all about homeschooling. So in my activism, I've always focused on like the bigger picture. And of course, you're a student of the conspiratorial view of history, and our enemies most definitely are not focused on the election of the day or paying their bills this month. They have big intergenerational plans. And so when I try to think on that scale, it just always comes back to we got to prepare our children to be able to think critically, to be able to see through the lies, to have the skills and knowledge needed in order to weather the storm, and better yet, to thrive financially, entrepreneurship, sales and stuff. So we're putting together this summit. It's taking place July 14th, kicks off at 11 a.m. Central, and it's completely free to register. Richard Grove's one of the speakers, so we're super excited to hear about the real history of government education. We got Carrie McDonald. She's an intellectual with the Foundation for Economic Education, talking about unschooling. Pam Popper, my good friend David Rodriguez, and a few others. But on top of that, we managed to book Ron Paul, which is really freaking exciting. So he's got a homeschool curriculum. He wrote this awesome book, The Homeschool Revolution. So that's really freaking cool. We're going to be interviewing him for about 15 minutes, and really excited to have him and hear his thoughts and his inspiration on all that stuff.
Is my time the same? Because I think I got bumped for Ron Paul, which I don't mind. I thought that was kind of cool that he's coming to speak at your event. I'll move wherever, sir. Like, let's
we
see.
got you a good 35 or 40 minutes, because I know you got a lot of stuff to cover, and we definitely want to go deep. And we have you the first speaker actually after we kick it off, so I think you'll really be able to set the stage and elucidate some folks on what government school is all about, because everyone thinks like, oh, it's just getting bad and weird and woke nowadays, when in reality, ever since its inception, it's been carrying out an agenda.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to ask me questions, right? It's going to be like an interview style.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. Because it's you want 35, you want something precise. Foster Gamble asked me for 45 minutes. I gave him like 90 minutes by mistake. Like, just I can't talk that short. I wind up for a lecture. I do 6 hours talking with people.
I
so
know.
35 minutes. I need you to be like, all right, and the next point I need to get out is this. And is there anything I can do to prepare for it to make it a more excellent event for your audience?
No, I think you got it down pretty sharp. So we'll mainly just review the work of John Taylor Gatto and a lot of the research that you've done and how it plays in. And we kind of want you to present the problem. Some of the speakers later on are going to focus on the how-to, the mechanics, and hopefully empower some parents. Because I know there's a lot of parents in our community that want to pull their kids out of government school, but that for whatever reason, most often than not, it's limiting beliefs and self-imposed obstacles. But a lot of people struggle to make that leap. And so we want to help people get the knowledge and information to feel more empowered in doing so. But first, people got to be really aware of what the problem is. And when you really understand what's going on in these government schools, it'll be some more motivation for people to make that transition.
Yeah, the problem was prolific even before the 21st century. Let me put it that way. And this is also good because I got a gig next Sunday with Corbett on a solutions watch, and it's the same sort of thing, like autonomous learning systems, methods, these sort of things that people are instilling in children for homeschooling. It's very similar protocol for adults. You know, we all got brains and This is how we can train them up to the next level. We all got brains. See, look, I'm using the Queen's English right there. All right. So how can people, your event's free on Thursday, right?
Yep.
And how can people get tickets?
Well, I think you guys are going to share a link with your audience, so you can register for free, use that link, and we'll send you some emails. We'll do it on Zoom, although we'll probably make it available elsewhere as well. But if you're on Zoom, you'll be able to ask questions and be a little more interactive and participate. And if folks can't make it live, we hope that they can. But as long as you register, we'll get you access to the replay also.
Also, the Georgia Guidestones had an accident. From the footage, it looks like a silver car drives up. One of the tablets gets blown up. Later that day, big cranes come in because it was allegedly unsafe and toppled the whole structure. A monument to globalism has been taken down, maybe because that agenda is already in play. Maybe they don't need those stones anymore. Or maybe the United Nations translating the texts for those stones to be there. Maybe there's a bigger picture.
Down to Georgia, they was looking for a grassy hill. They want to press rewind on the humankind, and they was willing to lie and steal. And they came across this tiny town, Tyranny coming in hot. And then he pulled out the contract and said, people, let me tell you what. I bet you didn't know it, but I'm a family planner too. And if you dare to have babies there, I'll make a plan for you. Wrote a nifty little riddle down Elbert Town for the whole wide world to view. I put a message in stone against your soul, cause I know I'm better than you. It said protect people with the one world government, and you can bet they're gonna regret, cause we got a plan for them. People rise on up and go and shape their evil hard, cause the guys goes down to Georgia gonna topple in the yard. And if we win, our children's future is to be sold, but if we lose, we're gonna eat bugs and mold.
I'm Nicole Kidman, and I am going to eat a 4-course meal of bugs. I am here to reveal my hidden talent, eating micro livestock, cornworms. They're still alive. Extraordinary. Very moist, chewy. Can't quite describe the flavor, but need a little water. Let's try the second course, shall we? Just a little side note, 2 billion people in the world eat bugs, and I'm one of them. Because here we go. Have some mealworms. I'm telling you, I'd win Survivor.
Also, there was a story this past week where Elmo's making the rounds promoting an experimental concoction that hasn't been tested on children using puppets, right? So Elmo has a long and sordid history.
Elmo, everyone's favorite, well, the puppet, not the pedophile who had his hand up the puppet. I've seen that one coming. Elmo has now been vaccinated, and there's actually, we have this clip from Sesame Street.
Now Daddy has super duper bandages just like Elmo.
You were super duper today, getting your COVID vaccine, Elmo.
Yeah, there was a little pinch, but that was okay. Elmo was really glad to have Daddy and Baby David there with him. Baby David, where are you?
I had a lot of questions about Elmo getting the COVID vaccine. Was it safe? Was it the right decision?
No and no.
I talked to our pediatrician so I could make the right choice.
Who's a commie?
I learned that Elmo getting vaccinated is the best way to keep himself,
This is a
our
puppet
friends,
talking to
neighbors,
parents,
and
by the way.
everyone else healthy and enjoying the things they love.
Oh, Daddy, Elmo and Baby David have a question. Can we have a hug?
Oh, come here, son.
Elmo loves you, Daddy.
Well, you didn't get enough hugs from your pedophile puppeteer?
It's okay to have questions about COVID vaccines for your kids.
Not that
Get
kind.
the latest facts by speaking to your pediatrician or healthcare
Can I
provider.
even reach around? Well, that's what we've been doing to the pharmaceutical companies for years.
Many times.
Now, here's the thing. When I watched that, I originally thought it sounded like Dave doing a voice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. And here's the thing. We actually, and you know, they go through several different cuts with this, with Sesame Street.
Yes.
And sometimes we get exclusive information, we get exclusive clips because we have people who work in the industry and they sort of send these to us anonymously. We actually have the original voiceover that was intended for that Sesame Street vaccine PSA.
Oh.
Now, Daddy has super duper bandages just like Elmo.
Not exactly, son. You see, you got your COVID vaccine, and I got my methadone.
Yeah, Elmo's heart is beating a little fast right now, but it's okay. Elmo thinks he needs to go lie down.
I had a lot of questions about Elmo getting the COVID vaccine. Was it safe? Was it the right decision? Why do I talk all black when I look like I'm in Smash Mouth? The doctor told me I was reading misinformation and said he knew where I worked. So I told him I'll do whatever you want. Just please let me keep feeding my family.
Daddy, Elmo can't move his right arm anymore.
Oh?
Elmo smells burnt toast.
Oh, me too, son.
Get the COVID vaccine in all your children. We will ask the questions.
I see they had a bit of a branding issue.
Yeah, I don't know. That one seems more startling.
Just had to move off that.
Not as forceful.
No.
And as always, let's go to Luke Rudowski of wearechange.org, bestpoliticalshirts.com, and lukeuncensored.com, something like that. He's going to do the kickoff. He's going to give you an international look of some of the events from this week, and then we'll do some more in-depth reporting and deep dives when we get back. Let's go.
Consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
Damn it! For the last time, anything you put on that prompter, Burgundy will read.
Well, I think it's fair to say whoever controls the teleprompter controls the presidency of the United States, and that's not an understatement.
What makes autonomy uniquely empowering? Autonomy is a self-help course unlike any other. Over the course of our 12-week program, you'll experience weekly live lectures from Richard Grove, specifically designed to equip you with the skills you need to set yourself free. Free from the learned helplessness taught in our schools, free from the dependence on a corrupt system that serves only to uphold the rich, free from the structure of your 9-to-5 if that's your prerogative. Plus, you'll enter into a community of like-minded individuals who are pursuing the same freedom you are, and who'll support you and learn alongside you every step of the way. A lifetime of community and the tools to live however you want. We can't wait to meet you. Learn more at getautonomy.info.